Diets, diets, diets. Everywhere you look, everybody's talking about diets. When you're dieting, the last thing you want to do is make mistakes, right? Here's the thing about mistakes. You're definitely going to make them. So what you want to do is A, don't make the same mistake twice, and B, the most important one really, is when you do make those mistakes, you want to identify and find solutions for those mistakes. Hi, I'm Nick, the creator of the Healthy Fat Loss Formula here at Fit Women for Life. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the 5 biggest diet mistakes I see women making while on diets. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Mistake number 1. I got my fancy whiteboard here. Low calorie. So the worst thing you can do on a diet is significantly restrict and reduce your calories. One of the reasons diets are successful is because you're going from eating over 2,500 calories a day to the diet suggesting you drop to 800 to 1,200 calories. Of course you're going to see weight loss. Of course you're going to think you're on the best diet in the world. The thing about low calorie is you start going low calorie, guess what? You're going to start going low metabolic rate. And that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. You don't want to ever restrict your calories below, for most women, about 1,500. So for a fat loss program, you want to stick to, depending on your fitness levels and goals, about 13, a little bit more, to even upwards of 18, 2,000 if you are working out very intensely. You might think that's a lot, but sometimes in order to rehab your metabolism from years of dieting, calorie restriction, you need to increase those really good quality calories, and eventually you can kind of drop them to, you know, a maintenance level of about 1,800. So mistake number 1, low calorie. Don't restrict your calories. Mistake number 2, while trying to burn fat. So this one kind of goes with mistake number 1, low calorie. We're talking about too low carbs. Now this all started, you know, back in the Atkins diet, where we want to do high levels of protein, sometimes high levels of fat, and then drop those carbs super low. Now the primary fuel source for your cells, where all of your metabolic processes take place, is, you guessed it, glucose. And so when we restrict our carbs, especially our really good quality anti-inflammatory carbs like fruit, some starches like potatoes, rice, that type of stuff, and so when we reduce those, that will again, and it has something to do with that low calorie, really lower our metabolism. And that's, again, you don't want to do that because you're going to start becoming catabolic, which is essentially muscle wasting. Okay, our muscle, your muscle is metabolically active tissue, meaning when you build the muscle, that's while you're at rest, when your muscle's rebuilding. Your muscle is what's going to be burning the excess fat off. So if you are starving your muscle of glucose from good quality anti-inflammatory carbs, then your muscle is going to start eating away at itself because it needs to go through a process called gluconeogenesis to feed the cells in the brain and get all those processes going. So it's going to starve, become catabolic, you're going to lose that fat burning tissue, and so that is a definite no-no when you want to drop the excess fat, right? Alright, so we got mistake number 3. While trying to burn fat, what we all want to do. Too high calorie. Now, so this is the opposite of the low calorie. So yes, even if you're eating perfect gluten-free, grass-fed, pastured eggs, coconut oil, a perfect diet for ideal foods that are non-inflammatory, you can still eat too much coconut oil, essentially. And that's somewhat hard to do because when you start introducing those really good quality foods into your diet, you're not going to really have to worry about maintaining or figuring out the quantity. And calories do matter, but you know, we want to definitely watch when we start introducing those really good quality foods, because you know, if you decide to go gluten-free, which I'd recommend, you could still eat gluten-free that's junk food. And that's going to start creeping our calories up, especially now because there's so many gluten-free junk foods now that have high amounts of vegetable oils, other fats, high fructose corn syrups, sugars, and so it's actually quite easy to go from a poor quality diet, low calorie, to a really good quality, too high calorie diet, and then wonder like, why am I losing weight? Nick said to go on a high calorie, good quality diet. So just be very calorie conscious when you start introducing those awesome foods into your diet, all right? So that is a mistake. Mistake number 4, we got 2 more to go. Now, quality over quantity. I almost revealed this one in our last mistake, but even though I talked about calories mattering, because they do when we're talking about fat loss, I still want you to focus more on the quality of your food first and foremost, because I definitely am not a promoter of constantly trying to figure out your calories and your macronutrients and, you know, getting very obsessed about always trying to eat the low calorie stuff and all that. So it's not sustainable, in other words. Like, to sum it all up, I promote sustainability, and I believe that all of our eating and our values for eating should be sustainable. Can I do this for the rest of my life? And yes, you can definitely focus on the quality of your food for the rest of your life. And when you do that, the quantity most of the time will take care of itself. Sometimes it won't, and you need some fine-tuning. That's where a good coach will come into play. But if you're going from eating a bunch of fast food, junk foods, and you start focusing on that quality, your body's gonna wake up, and you're gonna be feeding it very life-promoting foods. And life-promoting equals fat burning, because when you're not healthy, your body just is trying to survive, to keep itself going, your brain healthy. It's not gonna worry about trying to burn that fat off so you can fit in your bikini. Get healthy with good quality food. Our last and final mistake for dieting, for a fat burning diet, dieting in and of itself, okay? So you don't want to diet, in other words. Dieting is setting yourself up for failure. I'm gonna go back to my sustainability preach that you want to, with any diet program you're researching, looking at, thinking about starting, ask yourself, is this diet sustainable? Is this weight loss short-term or long-term? A big dieting mistake is dieting, ladies, okay? So let's try to avoid the dieting, focus on increasing our quality of food, be calorie conscious, making sure we're not too low or too high, even with the really awesome good quality foods. And definitely don't go low carb for too long. It's okay to do it kind of in the short term. There's a lot of, you know, different schools of thought about this, but you know, even if you're going paleo primal, cutting out lots of fruits and starches, this is setting yourself up for some potential metabolic issues. So just be very conscious and aware of all of these dieting mistakes. Decide and choose not to diet today. Get yourself on a really awesome real food type of program where maybe you have some guidance on your meal plans. I happen to have just launched awesome done-for-you complete grocery list, outline, recipes, instruction, weekly meal plan service that I want you to try out just for a week, and it's only for $1, which essentially just covers my cost for the processing and all that stuff. So 7 days for $1, that's super cheap for the amount of content you're gonna get. This is a complete healthy fat loss program. I call it the Healthy Fat Loss Inner Circle. You get 4 workout videos, and if you want to look at some, I have some in my YouTube channel. You have every week, I'm going to give you a complete 3 meal per day, 2 snack per day meal plan with a grocery list every single week. This is serious business. I mean, I'm putting tons of work into this for you because I want to show you that a complete lifestyle approach is the key to healthy fat loss. Click the link in the description. It'll take you to my trial page outlining everything you get, because what I just told you is the tip of the iceberg for this awesome community of women just like you wanting to lose serious fat. Thanks for watching the video. I will see you on the inside.